All right, welcome to the next video. In this video, we're going to be looking at comping vocals. So I want to take you through my process and yeah, let's get into it. All right, so here we are in Pro Tools here, and we're going to go through all the takes. We've got 4 takes to work from here, and we're going to figure out which parts are best, and we're going to create a master take. So we're in the playlist section here. Let's go ahead and go back to waveform. Here's our lead vocal. Let's create a new. This is going to be our master comp. Okay. And then we'll go back into our playlist. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go through the first phrase of all these takes and figure out which one's the best here. Alrighty.
I flew back to the East Coast, yeah. I flew back to the East Coast, yeah.
That one's kind of nice.
I flew back to the East Coast, yeah. I flew back to the East Coast, yeah. I flew back to the East Coast.
Okay, so I like the timing on this first piece all the way up to when I say yeah. So I'm going to take this I'm going to promote it up to the top master. So what you want to do if you're in Pro Tools, hit Control Option V, and then it goes up to your comp. So we got that for our first phrase here. Now let's find a good yeah.
Yeah.
That one's kind of cool. Alright, I think number 3 is the strongest there, so we'll grab that and promote it up. And on to the next phrase here.
I drove up to the Blue Ridge Peak. I drove up to the Blue Ridge Peak. I drove up to the Blue Ridge Peak.
Alright, so the reason I didn't like the first 2 here, I felt like I was just kind of lagging behind the beat. And so I'm really listening for timing, pitch, and feel. And I'm trying to judge all those together and, you know, figure out which one I feel like is the strongest. So that's kind of my thought process when I'm listening through these.
I drove up to the Blue Ridge Peaks. I drove up to the Blue Ridge Peaks.
All right, I'm happy with that whole phrase there. What you'll find is one of these takes is going to be the one that you pull from the most. You know, the singer's probably going to get into a vibe and really feel one of the takes. And so that's typically always how it goes for me. I end up pulling from one of the takes more than any of the other ones. Okay, so let's start at the top again.
I sat there on a ledge and dreamed about my life.
I didn't really like that one from the get-go.
I sat there on a ledge and dreamed about. I sat there on a ledge and dreamed about my life, what it could. I sat there on a ledge and dreamed about my life.
Okay, again, I like all of that. So we're gonna shoot it up to the top.
What it could be, what it should be, what it could, my life, what it could be, my life, what it could be.
Kind of rushed.
My life, what it could be, what my life, what it could be, what it should, my life, what it could be.
Alright, kind of like this purple one here. Alright, let's get the last line here.
What it should be, what it should be.
funky on the end.
What it should be.
It's kind of cool. Let's check out number 5 though.
What it should be. What it should be.
It's between 3 or 5, I think.
What it should be.
Okay, 5 wins. So when you're going through all the takes, basically what you're trying to do is create this larger than life vocal track. And yeah, you are kind of creating a Frankenstein lead vocal, but hey, this is what it takes sometimes to get the strongest vocal takes. And so we'll do it. All right, so we have verse 2 comped. So I'm going to close out the playlist here. We'll go back to waveform view. And I'm just going to kind of fade these together. I'll put this in solo.
Yeah.
What I like to do sometimes when I'm working just on the lead vocal is to blow it up so I can really see it. Okay. Now when you splice together 2 takes, you really want to find a dead spot, you know? Make sure you're not cutting off a breath, but you're really looking for kind of a void in the track there, and then you're going to just do a little crossfade.
I drove up to the Blue Ridge Peak.
Okay, got another fade there. Okay, see we got a bit of a void there. So, yeah, maybe we can pull it this way. This is probably a good spot right there.
Life, what it could be.
Yeah, sounded fine. Let's move on.
What it should be.
Sounded fine. Basically, when you're crafting, you know, like a comp, it should sound pretty good even if you don't have a fade on it. That's a good sign that you're selecting a good spot to join 2 clips together. But just so we don't get any pops or clicks, we'll go ahead and just put a fade on it. And then we just want to pull this out so we have that full breath. Yeah, there's not much going on. I'll just pull a fade there. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this back. All right, so we have a take that we feel pretty good about. Let's go ahead and just give it a quick listen. Take it out of solo mode and see how it's sitting in there.
I flew back to the East Coast, yeah. I drove up to the Blue Ridge Peaks. I sat there on a ledge and dreamed about my life, what it could be, what it should be.
Alrighty, so that is my process for comping vocals. I typically only put that type of attention on the lead vocal, and I try to get all the BGVs and the double vocals. I try to take care of all of those in one take. I try not to do any comping on those if I don't have to. So this is the process that I take for the whole song. I typically record 3 or 4 vocal takes and then pick the best parts and create a master take.